You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. This is Quincy Anderson. You know I love my country. There's no other country better than mine. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil too. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Hey, hey, Guyana is nice, Guyana is fun, Guyana is clean, Guyana is green, Guyana got oil, Guyana got gold, Guyana got young and Guyana got old. I ain't talking no more. Guyana got things, we growing wings and developing things. The government real and that's a big deal. I'm singing from my heart, Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana, I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. Welcome to Guyana, land of 6 races, 6 different faces, and we all live in love. Guyana is a beautiful country, no other can compare. Got everything right here, so no other can compare. Guyana is made up of so many natural resources. We don't need no forces, cause we got enough resources. Let's talk about bauxite, gold, diamond, and rice. We got it right here. Guyana ain't going nowhere. We got enough oil to one Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call home. One Guyana. I love Guyana. Guyana, my country, my home. The only place I call.
Hey yo, my G, where you from?
Guyana.
Ghana?
No, Guyana. Yeah. Hello, Wagwan. Yeah. I came from a land. It have many water, many great sons and many daughters. And we have the land, yo, where many ask for. We never see Katrina, nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we show them pretty. The man full of faith, me nah know none must slippy. Guyana, me say big up on no city. Cause this is the dear land of the free, land of the many waters, resources and trees, land of the rivers and seas. I proud, Phoebe, Guyanese, land of the Amerindians, the Africans, the East Indians, and Portuguese, not to mention the Europeans and the Chinese. Them feel blessed from Guyana beach breeze. Cause enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop fast. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. Alright, 1, 2, mic check. View from gravity, are the nicest. Match time, my city, are the hypest. We see them gyal wind up in a some liquor digest. We are hustle from morning till night catch. Them finno Guyanese get a youth not like rest. House and car, them finno we like press. Check the bank line them. We not like check. We got gold and diamond, them think priceless. Timber bauxite, then check the aisle next. GDF, Miami is the finest. I mean I talk about the sugar, nah the rice yet. So a Marshall, I drop the Guyanese bomb. For feed the nation, that's the Guyanese plan. Big up a kilo, them with them Guyanese land. Guyana, that's where them Guyanese from. People tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that is. That is the last city of El Dorado in the world. That is the land where we live. Land of the biggest one drop fast. Plus we have the longest floating bridge. We from South America, some say the Caribbean, but still a thanks we a give. I came from a land, it have many water, many great sons and many daughters. Is we have the land, what many ask for, we never see Katrina or nah, those disaster. I feel nice, we come from the golden city. Girl born in gold dust, so we sure them pretty. The man full of faith, we nah know none must slippy. Guyana, we say big up on no city. Enough people tour around the world and ask about Guyana, but don't know where that.
We're ready to go with Courdel Jones. You know it's gonna be real from 8 to 9. Bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wide in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Time to feel the flow. Turn your dial to Livewire, we're ready to go. With Courdel Jones, you know it's gonna be real. From 8 to 9, from 8 to 9, bringing vibes you can feel. News, views, and what's hot today will keep you wired in every way. We'll keep you wired every way, in every way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Stories that matter, we've got the scoop. From the latest headlines to the local truth. It's your community, your voice, your power. Livewire hits you every hour. So grab your coffee, your tea, or toast. With Courdel Jones, we'll give you the most. Livewire, we'll give you the way. To the energy, the beat of the street, the show that connects, it's where people meet. We're wired to your world, we got the news. On Livewire, there's nothing to lose. Livewire, turn and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart. Courdel's here, bringing life to your day. Monday to Friday, we're paving the way. Livewire, tune in and feel the spark. Every morning, lighting up your heart.
Good morning to you, and welcome to another episode of Livewire with yours truly. I'm really happy to be here with you. It's the 23rd of March, 2026. I hope everybody would have had a really great and restful weekend, and you're ready to go for this new week ahead. Morning to those persons joining us across the 10 administrative regions. Morning to those persons joining us across the diaspora. Special good morning to those persons joining us in the comment section. Thank you guys for being here yet again. I am seeing no volume from Mike. Okay. Guys, just confirm that you're hearing me. I see Mike say he can get no volume. So just confirm you guys are hearing me clearly in the comment section. Before we continue, if we have a problem, we could get that fixed. Everything looks to be connected. I don't know. Yes, volume good. All right, good. Most people here, Mike, you might need to refresh your browser on whatever you're watching us on. Nevertheless, morning to you, Mike, and all the crew over there. Pamela, morning to you as well. Sunita, Joan Abidjan, morning to you. Kay Watson, good morning. Sally Jones, Eunice Ragobeer. Pam, morning to you, and Trevor. Amanda, good morning. Rosemary, good morning to you. Richard Stanislas, good morning. Abdul Latif. Leslie Mongol, morning to you. Anyway, guys, let's jump into it as we go. So first up, we gonna be talking a bit about what's going on globally and how it affects us here at home, and the government's push, or I should say, the fact that the government has stepped up to cushion some of these rising costs due to things happening in other parts of the world, more so the rising cost of fuel prices. And President Ali would have made a call for the private sector, to take up its responsibility as well. So, as we all know, while global fuel prices are rising and affecting countries worldwide, the government of Guyana has already gone to the maximum extent to extend economic capacity to protect Guyanese citizens. And understand clearly, this is not guesswork. This is policy. This is action. And this is what you can properly define as leadership, right? Now, the government has already done its part. The government has maintained a 0% excise tax on fuel. Now, that is one of the most powerful tools available to reduce fuel costs, and it is already fully utilized. Now, on top of that, COVID-era concessions were never removed. Freight cost adjustments have also been observed at a national level. So we see that effort from the administration. So when President Ali says the government has maximized its tools, that is not rhetoric. That is economic reality, right? Now, when President Ali says the private sector must step up, this is where the conversation gets real. If the government has already absorbed the shock, if taxpayers are already carrying part of the burden, then the private sector cannot operate as nothing has changed. President Ali is making it clear. This is the moment for shared responsibility. Some fuel retailers are operating at 30 to 35% profit margins at a time when citizens are feeling the pressure, right? That is not partnership. That is imbalance. Now, we must talk about true public-private sector partnerships. Understand clearly, The president is not attacking businesses. He's calling for responsible business. Because true partnership means government does its part, the private sector does its part, and the people feel the benefit. That is what real economic leadership looks like, right? Now, understand this as well. Guy Oil, the company itself, is taking a hit for the people. Let's talk about this for a bit because this may be something many people may not realize. Guy Oil is operating at a deficit, not for profit, but to stabilize prices for citizens. That is government intervention in real time. That is the state stepping in to protect the people. But even that has limits. Guyana must at least reach break even to remain sustainable. Oh, cold this morning, champ. Right? Now, what is the global reality? And you must look at the local response as well. President Ali is also grounding this in reality. Rising fuel prices are not a Guyana problem. They're driven by global energy markets and freight costs. But instead of complaining, what is Guyana doing? Guyana, under the leadership of President Ali, is adapting, planning, and building long term solutions. Right? And often I see you get a more of a big picture view when you look at things, especially when certain political parties are in power. When certain political parties are in power, you get that tunnel vision. Nothing outside that tunnel. But when other parties are in power, you have a big picture view, a wide view of what the current situation is now, what are the plans to deal with it, and how we will look in the future. And I think that's important. You understand? And this administration, the President Ali administration, and this President Ali administration building off of previous PBPC administrations, you see they have that long-term view, that big picture view, that long-term solution to some of the problems that we're experiencing currently. Case in point, energy security, right? Now, this is one of the sectors where the conversation shifts from short-term relief to long-term transformation. The gas energy project is coming on stream soon. There are plans for oil refineries, a second gas plant, and deep water ports. This, to be very clear with you, is about energy independence. Because the real goal is not just to manage prices, but to control them. Right? Now, Guyana controlling its now Guyana control. No, Guyana controlling its energy prices. The president is making a very. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What's this? Hello, check 1 2. Oh, wait, man. Is all the time I talking there and they had no audio? This what story is this here? And the thing is, I don't have the phone. I don't have the phone here with me, so I is now click over to the WhatsApp that is seeing all the missed calls now. The rain is falling over here, and I'm using Starlink, so probably that's why the audio is cutting out. I don't understand. This is crazy. Look at my thing I talked about just now, bye. What story is this? Oh Lord. Look at my thing I talked about. You see, this is what's happened when you don't do the normal thing. I left the phone in the other room. I would have seen the calls, and the amount of people that call, I would have known something was wrong. Guys, I am really sorry about that. Like I said, it's Starlink and it's overcast here and raining, so I don't know if that's why. Wow, somebody says finally sound. I got start over. Yeah. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. All right. I don't know. I don't know where the sound cut out. I don't know where the sound cut out. But I can try my best to summarize. We got about 12 minutes left. Jesus Christ, what's this? What is this? You know what? I think StreamYard records this. So what I'll do, I'll probably end the live shortly, and oh boy, as if it has audio on StreamYard too. I have to check, and then I'll probably I get the views in the comments. I gotta check and probably restart the live because it probably recorded audio here and not going out. I know I always read the comment. Look, I get him views. I was focusing on the president's story, so I didn't want to be distracted. Anyway, let's go. We can go over time a little bit today. Anyway, I was wondering why the viewership was so low. It's just like 200 people on here. Eunice, I see you. I see the call there when I was clicked over to the WhatsApp on the computer. The phone is not here with me. Everybody messaging no song. Thanks, guys. Let me try and go from as much as the top as we could go from. We're gonna try to speed through this one a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, so at first, 8:20. So yeah, I might gotta hire an operator to come in here early in the mornings because me doing everything, I can't check on the technical stuff at the same time. Actually, all the technical stuff to make sure. Start over. Jesus Christ. Anyway, okay, fine. It is what it is. Anyway, initially, the first topic we were discussing, the fact that the government is putting tools in place to cushion the rise in fuel prices. I think y'all got most of this. So here's what I'll do. We'll start over the agriculture story because I think most of that was muted, right? So we're talking about the announcement of large-scale production of cocoa and coffee production in Guyana, right? And we need to understand what's happening here. This is not just about agriculture, but this is the wrong flyer. Jesus, what's going on this morning? Right? So This here is about the economic transformation of this country in real time. Understand Guyana is moving from just being a producer of raw commodities to becoming a serious player in the global food production and agro processing markets. Now, as I said before, which y'all didn't hear, you would often hear persons lamenting the fact that Guyana is now an oil producing state. And that is probably supposed to mean in their books that everything else is supposed to come easy. We're supposed to have money to share out Wild West and whatever else they may be thinking. You understand? Now, understand this. While many countries would focus only on oil and gas, Guyana is still diversifying aggressively. Now, we would have seen non-traditional crops being grown here in Guyana recently, being spearheaded by President Ali, pushing policies in the agricultural sector to help lower our food import bills, right? Cocoa, coffee, aquaculture, food hubs. We see that the government's aim is about building a balanced economy. This is what you call smart leadership. Don't depend on one sector. You understand? The government understands the volatility of oil prices up and down like it's heading good. So that is why it is investing in building multiple engines of growth. Now, the timing is very strategic. You must take into consideration the global situation. Rising food prices, transportation costs are high. The supply chain is still recovering from things that happened since COVID. Now, what is Guyana doing? Guyana is currently positioning itself as a solution. We're producing more food. We're now supplying that to the region. And even we are competing on an international level. Somebody said just send a call Game Express. Anyway, we're producing on an international level. Now, understand clearly, large-scale production is equal to real impact. This is not about small farming. This is about large-scale cultivation. Cocoa and coffee production will be ramping up in a matter of weeks. We will see the further expansion of aquaculture. A lot of these indigenous communities have invested in aquaculture with assistance from the government, and now they are producing thousands of pounds of freshwater fish, which will impact their village economies. We were going to see the development of national food terminals and hubs. Now, what does this mean for the average Guyanese? Whether it be employment, more jobs, more export markets, and more income flowing into the Guyanese economy. Earlier, I was talking about the private sector taking up its responsibility and stepping in. This is key. Major private sector players are now investing in agriculture and agro-processing. And that tells you something. Investor confidence in Guyana is high. Businesses are not guessing. They're investing because they see long-term returns in Guyana. Now, international investment and partnerships are important. Because of these partnerships, these international companies, they bring in expertise. And you might ask, in what per se? In processing, in export, and in international standards. If you notice now, a lot of these local companies, more so those involved in the oil and gas sector, they're going for ISO certification because that's something you must have. Even those outside of the oil and gas sector, in the production sector here in Guyana, you're going for ISO certification. This is how you build a world-class industry. Local resources plus international expertise will elevate us over time. You understand? Now, with this coffee and cocoa bean production, it will have a heavy focus on Region 1. and that will help the development in that area. 200 acres each have already been identified for the cocoa and coffee bean production. And this will impact the Barima Winey region immensely. This is critical. Jobs for the hinterland communities, rural economic upliftment, so it will transform the village economy, putting more money in circulation in these economies. And it will ensure balanced development, because you often hear opposition operatives talking about, oh, the indigenous people are being left behind. Oh, the indigenous people. And some of them, all they do is go and hand the indigenous people $10,000, a random $10,000. By the next day, the 10,000 done. Not creating real value in these people's lives. Not giving them something to create recurring income. They have persons who go into these indigenous communities and give indigenous people a fish instead of teaching them how to fish, if you catch what I'm trying to say, right? So we see the government pushing for a value-added economy. And this is not just about planting crops. It's about processing, packaging, and exporting a finished product. And understand that is where the real money is, in the finished product, the value-added production, right? President Ali also made an important point, right? High global food costs affect everyone. So Guyana is increasing local production to reduce dependence on imports, right? Now, what is more local production equal to? More stable prices, greater food security, less exposure to global shocks. Now, I want to talk about the big picture here, because in some cases, if you listen to opposition personnel, or even if you reflect on previous administrations outside of the PPPC, there's either tunnel vision, and I know y'all see I do this earlier, tunnel vision. This is what I was talking about, tunnel vision, where the people in charge don't see anything outside of that tunnel vision. Then they have other sections who have no vision at all. And I was saying earlier, I was trying to go through a program without mentioning the blue guys. But when I talk about no vision, I speak of them specifically. You have 3 former to current MPs. Tabitha, who is a former minister of the AP and UFC government. You have Natasha Singh Lewis, and you have the all uninspiring Don Hastings. Right? The all uninspiring Don Hastings. That you cannot say to yourself right now that they have come up with some policy that you've heard in-depth analysis on. Everything that has come out of the We Invest in Nationhood has been surface level rhetoric coming straight out of ChatGPT. So they will read back to you the response given by ChatGPT, but cannot offer you any in-depth analysis of what they said. They can't break it down for anyone to actually explain to persons how these ideas that they may be having will work. You understand? How they will last over a long period of time. How it will impact Guyanese over a period of time. They just pontificate on things that sound inspiring and smart. But at the end of the day, none of the 3 MPs that are there who would have had experience, we've heard anything in depth about. None of the new MPs under the WIN banner has said anything tangible for Guyanese to hold on to say, well, yes, this is a plan. It all sounds good, but let's get into the nitty-gritty. Where does it go? What does it do? Right? So the world is watching, and the world is investing, because the world sees that the current administration, they have a big picture outlook to things. You understand? And that is not just a statement, it's reality. Investors are coming to Guyana. Partnerships are forming in this country. Industries are continuing to expand. Guyana is no longer emerging. Guyana is rising. You understand? So, this initiative announced by the president is about jobs, investment, food security, economic diversification. But most importantly, it's about inclusive growth. Because, as the president said, growth includes growth. No, is what he said? Growth that includes is growth that endures. That's what the man said. Growth that includes is growth that endures. And I holistically subscribe to that. You understand me? Holistically. Will continue to see efforts by the PPPC administration, especially this one led. Somebody saying no volume again? Yes, what worries is this? Man, I ain't not. We starting over again. So whoever this is, I'm sorry. Right? Because anyway, okay, I see somebody said audio is good. Audio is good. All right. Anyway, so we will continue to see the diversification of Guyana's various sectors. We'll continue to see the government investing in making Guyanese lives better. And for all those who seem not to understand what the government is doing, maybe you should sit, have a talk with some of these ministers and members of parliament so you can have a better understanding. And maybe you should come from a more genuine place. I'm saying at least 16 of those MPs don't have a genuine, real reason for wanting to be there. It's just people with grievances, people who are trying to save their own ass, and people who are just trying to be comical. Some of them very ungrateful, abusing, biting the hand that feed them. And when I say biting the hand that feed them, I'm not talking about the government giving them things. Imagine you cussing and bringing down a program that elevate you to doctorate status. You understand? You understand? Some of these people are ridiculous. But anyway, let's jump over to the PNC. Got stuff happening there.
Made the statement, and this is a trend of some people of Odessa's ilk. Having
this is the trend of some people of Odessa's ilk. You know what I mean? I said distributing people like Odessa doing the same thing. That's what I'm bringing out to say in plain words. Odessa's ilk is of stupidity. Shots fired.
Having made the statement, and this is a trend of some people of Odessa's ilk, having slander, libel you, they then go on like if they're the victim. She's not victim here. You're trying to mobilize sympathy. That seems to be the approach. I become the victim. And
he literally talking about the PNC playbook, How many times have people like Aubrey Norton and PNC operatives slander PPP government ministers, PPP members of parliament, all kind of thing they're talking about, and then try to play the victim role? Aubrey literally talking about the PNC playbook. Listen to it, see if it sounds familiar.
Having slander, libel you, they then go on like if...
So take for instance, the PNC slander and libel the government with Moko. The PNC, APNU, through Sherrod Duncan, slander and libel the government at Sierra Joanna. The APNU, PNC, slander and libel the government at Friendship recently again. The APNU, through Sherrod Duncan, slander and libel the government when Sherrod Duncan went by the new Barajagio River Bridge cross and said, oh gosh, we just moved the traffic from one highway to the next one. It ain't bringing no relief. All the neck wiggling up. It ain't bringing no relief to nobody. Oh God. Sherrod Duncan. Yet, thousands of Guyanese use that bridge every day and they have less congestion. At the end of the day, during the rush hour, traffic coming in and out of the city will be thick. There's nothing you can do about that. But the lines that are along the East Bank for hours have been removed. People trying to get over to the West Side can now get over there much faster. You understand me? So what Aubrey Norton is talking about here is the PNC's playbook that they have been using for years against PPP administrations and PPP officials, governments, presidents, everybody. Slander and libel. Slander and libel. When God rest the dead, Amna Ali was not this election, the election before, whichever election. And your name calling mine. You share your tiny card. Slander and libel. Nothing was ever proven in relation to that. Not a photo, video, nothing. So what exactly is Aubrey Norton talking about here? Let me make sure this audio is still going. Right. Somebody said Aubrey Norton still existed. But slander and libel. Slander and libel.
Of some people of Odessa's ilk. Having slander, libel you, they then go on like if they're the victim.
Literally what did PNC this do? After slandering and libeling the current government and previous PVPC government, extrajudicial killing, not proving nothing. All would have said but Courtney Crummy Wing, everything that they said. You understand? Slander and libel. They then turn to victim. The victim carried, oh, look what they're doing to Afro-Guyanese. Oh, they're killing us out. Oh, look what we can't get a loan. Christopher Jones at Buxton Road front. Slander and libel. Oh, how what the bank processing loan by whether your name is Passad or whether your name is James, or there's when they're looking at the process your loan to see who gonna get the loan and who ain't gonna get the loan. You understand? Christopher Jones said outside a box Sunday somewhere on the East Coast. David Hine had a protest and he out there talking about slander and libel. Slander and libel. And then, oh, we're fighting for the Afro-Guyanese. We're fighting for the Afro-Guyanese. Oh, look what they're doing to the Afro-Guyanese. Imagine I in front of the indigenous hostel. You understand? And we talking about indigenous rights and how the indigenous people are being treated. And Natasha St. Louis child husband come telling me, those are you treating black people? Those are you treating black people in this country? Bro, we dealing with the indigenous folks. It's like an automatic response. Remember Natasha St. Louis come from the PNC. So her child husband is also indoctrinated with the PNC. You understand me? So that's the automatic thinking. So they can't come out of the mind frame. So anything right away, oh, look what you do to black people. Even if black people not involved. Afro-Guyanese not involved. Same thing.
She's not victim here. You're trying to mobilize sympathy. That seems to be the approach.
trying to mobilize sympathy. Anybody hear or know of anything similar? A political party trying to mobilize sympathy from the masses for their inefficiency, their lack of knowledge on subject matter. Anywhere else, y'all ever hear anybody trying to mobilize sympathy? These people just try so hard to mobilize sympathy that they would take something illegal. They know in the heart it's illegal, right? And try to turn it on the government. So could you imagine at Friendship, a man who has links to the PNC, a man who links to Ipadaji, Afro-Guyanese group, right, is the chief cook and bottle washer behind the Friendship issue. And then idiots like Asher Douglas gonna come out. You understand? And holler, that's why these people just do the things this do. It's Afro-Guyanese doing it to Afro-Guyanese. And more so, whether you want to admit it or not, at the end of the day, Mr. Rutherford, or whatever he named, do you remember Rutherford, Delian, or whatever his name is, has a legal document to the land. So technically, he ain't doing nothing to black people. He's not doing nothing to Afro-Guyanese. He's securing his property, which he has a right to do. But you will see all those PNC people there and not mention who own the land, who is the person putting people off the land, but push a narrative that is the government doing it. And that is trying to gain sympathy from all them people in the diaspora who might not understand exactly what's going on and just see police and court martials blocking down people's place. Right? The gentleman who stood in the video and said, we got no notice, they just come and push a letter in the gate or throw it by the front door. That was your notice. That was your notice. The court would have sent out a notice that, hey, there was this matter heard on this date, and this justice or judge made this determination. You have so many days to vacate the space that doesn't belong to you. Look at the big jackass house that lady built on land she don't own. And again, passing the other day talking to an individual. How you go to the people know? I said, bro, if you left the country for 40 years even and come back and see somebody on your land, we're going to do you parceling it out to them or what? No. Well, it's not the man thing. How is the government going to regularize somebody's private property? Especially if it's not. So this is not like the Barjagio River Bridge, where that lady house who didn't want the government gives you back full-grown trees that bearing and all kind of madness. And you remember in some photos, you could see inside from outside, but wanted a bunch of money and the government to give her full-grown trees that bearing and all this other stuff. Remember Sherrod went to do that interview? It's not like there where that house was literally in the line of a bridge that benefiting hundreds of thousands of Guyanese. Right? The Friendship property is private property, and whether development that is happening there was private and would only benefit the private owners of that property. So the government could not step in to say, hey, we're going to compulsory acquire this place and turn it into a housing scheme. They could not. Because the very PNC people who you see out there jackassing themselves, every single one who you see out there at Friendship jackassing themselves, would have joined in the court action to say, look at the big PPPC. They're taking away land from Afro-Guyanese. That's the dictatorship. They want to give it to friend, family, or favorite. Exactly what they would have said. So again, y'all have heard me say this before. Damned if you do, Damned if you don't. That's the situation the PPPC does find itself in sometimes. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. And then people like Aubrey Norton, let's jump out the woodworks. We didn't hear nothing tangible from Aubrey Norton since he became opposition leader years ago. Now he jumping out the woodworks, ready to sue Odessa for the same tactics that the PNC employ on a daily basis. Pulling on people's heartstrings. You understand? And slandering and libeling people.
I become the victim and I mobilize sympathy. The lawsuit will go ahead. Because the victim here is me.
Aubrey Hart. The victim here is me. I'm wondering why Vanessa Kissoon, when the victim was her, didn't take it further. And if Vanessa Kissoon could let you slide, based on her allegation she made against you, that Odessa slide, buddy. Odessa just said something. You know Odessa is a comic. You know Odessa is a comic. Odessa can't be serious, but nothing. All Odessa could do is crack up a steel joke and try to abuse people, but what they're wearing and thing. When Odessa, be honest, it's since hanging around as a dean and little money flowing your way, you're dressing a little better now. You understand? At least every time we see you now, you hear do and thing fuzzy and thing. Go back to Odessa old photos and look at Odessa outside of an event and even at some events. Imagine Odessa views me about me Nike jersey with collar still intact, clean, and she wearing a tracksuit with a setter. You know them fuzz balls you just get on your clothes when you're washing it in washing machine too much. Abusing me, but me jersey tired. That's what you can get from Odessa. If Vanessa Kissoon could not move forward with her allegations, neither did she retract them. At least I didn't hear. I didn't hear that Vanessa come out with a video and say, hey, either just joking or bring do me nothing. Everything is fine. I ain't hear nothing. So if she could forgive you and not take you to court, you can't get Odessa a little pass here, man. She just start. PNC people say the PVP pay off the CCJ when did they lose the case. PNC people say PVP pay off Roxanne George. Sorry, acting Chief Justice is Roxanne George or the other lady? The former Chief Justice. They said the PVP pay off the former Chief Justice. Is that slander and libel? Huh?
Who she falsely contended receive money, and I'm in Barajak News payroll. Absolute garbage. I know the PPP.
Odessa, listen, you as a member of parliament need to learn to assess situations. Why Aubrey need to collect money from Barajagio when Aubrey could get as much blank checks from the PNC as he wants? Why Aubrey Norton need to collect money from Barajagio when he has access to all the blank checks he wants? The transmission treasurer, he gone, but we know the story. The only person surviving out of that saga is Ganesh Mahipal. And it got to be that Ganesh Mahipal is very buoyant. Ganesh ain't sinking for nothing by. Ganesh floating all the time. Every other person that go up against Aubrey Norton is no more member of parliament or in any prominent position in the party. Amanza, Risedale, Annette, Christopher Joe, all them gone. Everybody gone. You understand? Everybody gone.
He had anything on me that I put it out long. So I believe that she's out of place. And then I saw some of her supporters resorting to blackness. Why is he doing this to a black woman? I make
me the PNC paper. Could you believe Aubrey Norton is sitting here and upset because Win and its supporters have adopted the PNC play? Is that not what the PNC does? Any issue, it is then transformed into blackness or black people being this or Afro-Guyanese this or Afro-Guyanese that. It's not the same thing, Aubrey. Listen to him carefully and tell me if this is not something the PNC does all the time.
Saw some of our supporters resorting to blackness. Why is he doing this to a black woman? I make
Aubrey does not what is tell me when I call you and your people out for shoppingness that me as an Afro-Guyanese pulling down other Afro-Guyanese. Do something like Sir Aubrey. Do something like Sir Aubrey. Come on.
this point. When she said what she said about me, I was black. I didn't become black last week. And so, don't play the black race card with me. I believe people who violate the law must face the consequences. And I will ensure that that will happen.
Well, guys, that's Aubrey. I wonder if he feels that way about persons who engage in elections ringing. You know? I wonder if he feels that way. Or if you will hear from him, he put out a statement asking the persons presiding over the elections rigging case of 2020. Right? No, sorry, 2020. No, 2020. It's since then. Right? We are more than 6 years in. And we can't move forward. Aubrey, we need you to talk about that. I know some of your people involved, but that's important. That's important, brother. Anyway, guys, I am out of here. I tried to go over time a little bit. I know y'all missed a good bulk of the program due to the audio problem. We're going to ensure that that don't happen tomorrow. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. I really got to get out of here. I got a bunch of stuff to do. Other than that, please be safe on the roadways. Please look out for those persons who are not looking out for you. And as I usually say before I go, it's all about peace. It's all about love. It's all about...
We are a peaceful people, struggle as we struggle, and we don't look for trouble, just ask around. But when outside faces from foreign places talk about taking over, we ain't backing down. We ain't giving up no mountains, we ain't giving up no tree, we ain't giving up no river that belongs to we. Not one blue sake, not one rice grain, not one grass, not a blade of grass. This land is all I know.